Welcome everyone to another Geoguessr tips and tricks video, and this time it's over Kenya. So Kenya is not the most important country to dive deep into for learning in Geoguessr, because the Google car and just the overall vibe of the Eastern Africa area is usually enough for Kenya. So I'll go over some defining things to recognize Kenya and a few bits of region guessing. So let's get into it. Okay, so in Kenya, we always have a visible Google card. You always have, whether it's in Generation 3 or Generation 4, you will have a Google card, whether it's blurred or whether it's blurred or not. In Generation 3, you'll usually have a snorkel and like a gray car, and in Gen 4 coverage, you'll usually have this white pickup truck or gray version. But on some other things, Kenya drives on the left, and usually they are in the southern hemisphere when you look at the sun. It could be north, it could be either it's around the equator, but a lot of times you will see it say southern hemisphere. But the best thing for identifying Kenya is just knowing the African continent, what has coverage. Because out of everyone in Africa that has coverage, countries that drive on the left are Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Southern Africa. And Rwanda has its own unique Google car. Uganda has its own unique Google car, and Kenya has its Google cars, and these ones don't. You can get confused for Namibia just based off the car alone, but Namibia is more desert, while Kenya is less so. You will also see a lot of red soil in Kenya. You'll see a lot of English language, maybe some Swahili as well. Okay, so now those are like the basics. We do have some eucalyptus, which you do see around the country, but mainly in the west, we have yellow plates that you only see there. So yeah, and something about the coverage map is that pretty much the green section you see here on this map right here, that's where most of the coverage is. From here down to the city next to Mombasa, that's where 90% of the coverage is. You have the roads up here, you have this road, and you have these eastern roads, and that's pretty much it. So this specific one could be Nairobi, could be in a western town. I don't really know. It was just Nairobi. Okay, and here's we see the snorkel, which is unique to Kenya, and it's 2022, so it's Gen 3. This overall location, the elevation map of Kenya, is pretty flat. You do have a lot of various mountains around the center going up, as well as some ranges here in the west, and of course you have Mount Kilimanjaro down here. But the mountains are around the west. And when you see roads like this that are very flat, very arid, maybe unpaved, very red, very sparse, then you could definitely be in one of these roads that goes like to the east or to the north or the northwest. But the eastern road, maybe it's just this one, is unpaved the whole way through. I think this one is too, but this northern road is paved, and you can easily tell this one because you see various hills and small mountains far in the distance, like here, very far in the distance. We have one there, we have some over there as well. So that's kind of indicative for this road right here. Okay, and then here's an area of Kenya that's very easy to learn, being the coast. Most of Kenya will have like very brown, very red soil. Here we have very white, sandy soil, and that means 100% you're going to be along the coast, probably around the southern coast, because Mombasa is the second largest city in Kenya. Malindi is not too big, so you'll mostly be in Mombasa. But also you can tell based off some tropical trees and such. So since we are not in a city and we are on an unpaved road, we see this little bit here. Probably gonna be somewhere down here. Just based off the coverage, we can see the ocean and a big city, so being Mombasa in the distance. So we're just gonna be right here. Okay, and then here we have a vision of how the car can get blurred in the 2024 camera, well, coverage. So a lot of the pickup truck countries like Panama, Kazakhstan, Kenya, they have the car blurred a lot. But out of the countries with the pickup truck, Kenya's one of the only ones that drive on the left. Namibia is another one that instantly comes to mind. But like Oman, Kazakhstan, Senegal, Panama, Costa Rica, Paraguay, they all drive on the right. So just seeing left, you pretty much know it's Kenya or Rwanda. Now, what was this specific round? I actually don't remember, but we have these mountains that kind of remind me of like Thailand, Malaysia. How they're just kind of random, spontaneous, and whatnot. But okay, this area, it's red soil. It's very red, but it's not overly red. It's not like the deserty red or the pure jungle red. It's kind of like the Misiones province of Argentina in a way. So I would consider going to the west. And if we see some eucalyptus, then that'll be a further reason to go, which I think there's some over there. Not 100% confident, but I think it's going to be somewhere in the west. Okay, and then here we found that looks just like Senegal. So Senegal also has this same car, but they drive on the right. But on an unpaved road like this, it could definitely get confusing. Like, if I saw this, I could go Senegal, potentially. I would definitely think be between Senegal and Kenya. But this specific part, super red, sparse vegetation, very unpaved road. We're just driving on the sand. Very common in Senegal. But in Kenya, I think that is an area of either the far northwest or this road somewhere around here, where it's unpaved. It could be either of them. I think it's going to be the northwest. Don't quote me on that fully, but just know that this road that you see here, actually I'm switching to this one, it's always unpaved. And I'm not sure if this one is paved or not, but this one probably has more of like a normal deserty sand color. Okay, and then here we have what I think is the northwest part. Except it looks just like the previous one, except the soil is not red enough. We have these very weird mountains that you can see somewhat west, or even in this northern road. It's very unpaved, very arid, and whatnot. And something you could note down is that these roads off to the very far parts of Kenya should only have like 2022, 2023 coverage. So you will usually not have the car fully blurred out. And those copyrights would usually be the only thing you see at those parts. And I think you have a follow car in some of these parts. In a lot of coverage in Kenya, you do have a follow car. Okay, perhaps the best thing for truly region guessing Kenya is just seeing signs. Because a lot of signs that you see will have city names, will have county names, subdivision names, and if you just see here, you can easily see the ones. And actually, I think this county is what we see on that sign. So then we're probably gonna be in one of these little parts. So just seeing this sign alone, without even knowing all the subdivisions, I found the exact part of Kenya that's going to be. So then I could just put myself in a city with some mountains north that kind of has this angle. So this one kind of works. And then, does this work? Mountains west? Yeah, so this should be the 5K. Yeah. So just seeing a single sign that had a province, subdivision, county name, that immediately led me to getting the 5K. Anyways, that is it for this tips and tricks video. Short, sweet, and so simple. because Kenya is not a very hard country to identify. But on higher multipliers, knowing these little differences between the roads between the far west and Nairobi, where the mountains are, that will save you in parts with high multipliers in a duel. So that's it for this tips and tricks video. I'll see y'all next time.